first I'm going to go ahead and put my hair back using this cute headband that I got from twojemscouture. So first I prepped my under eye area using my complete eye renewal balm from Algenist and the Genius cream as a moisturizer. It is my absolute holy grail. Definitely try it if you have dry skin. Then I went ahead and jumped right into primer. I'm using the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Primer, and I'm just applying that with my fingertips all over my face. So to correct any redness that I have on my face, I'm going to be using the Algenist Color Correcting Drops in Green. And I'm going to use this on any blemishes that I have on my nose, on my chin, and on my forehead. Then I'll be blending that out with a damp beauty blender. To correct the dark circles under my eyes, I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Peach Corrector. I highly recommend this if you have dark circles and you're pretty self-conscious about them. This stuff is amazing. See, it's amazing. Moving on to foundation, I'll be using the Hourglass Seamless Foundation Stick, and I am in the shade Warm Ivory. I really like this foundation. I've only used it a few times, but the few times that I have used it, it was very good. This foundation is very matte, and I would say that it is a medium to full coverage. And yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. So I'm going to be blending this out with the same damp beauty blender, and I'm not rubbing this into my skin, I'm actually patting it into my skin. And by patting this into your skin, you'll get the best coverage. After I do my foundation, I like to do my concealer, and today I'll be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I am in the shade Light Neutral. I'll be concealing under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, my smile lines, my chin, a little bit on my forehead, and right underneath where I will be contouring. And blending all of that out with the same damp beauty blender. Now that I am all done with concealing, today I wanted to use the Tarteist Pro Glow Palette just to do a little bit of cream contouring, and I'll be using my Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. I love these drops. They are so amazing at helping you blend out any cream products. The brush that I'm using is from OPV Brushes, so I'm going to go ahead and cream contour on my forehead, a little bit under my nose, under my chin, my cheekbones, and my jawline. So to blend that out, I'm just going to use a slightly larger brush. This is also from OPV Brushes. Once I have that blended out, I'll be taking the Vera and JCMakeupMaster Cake and Bake Sponge and the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'll just be baking underneath my eyes, underneath my contour line, a little bit on my cupid's bow, and on my chin. Then using this Motives powder brush, I'm going to be dusting away all of that translucent powder, and as I'm dusting it away, I'm going to set the rest of my face with the excess. For contouring today, I'll be using the shade Sculpt from that same Tarteist palette and my NARS Eda brush. So I wanted the highlight to be a little extra today, so I'm using Benefit's What's Up as a base for the highlighter I will be applying next. So since I wanted the glow up to be so real, I'm using Artist Couture's Gold Digger Diamond Glow Powder. And let me tell you, the glow up was real. And I'm using a Sigma E40 brush to apply this. Alright, so for blush, I'll be using the Tarte Exposed blush. Absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful blush. It's just like a natural flush of color. And to set my entire face, I'll be using the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray, and this is Peach. Smells so amazing. Alright, let's talk brows. So for brows today, I'll be using Anastasia's Dipbrow in Ebony to sort of define and shape my brows. And I'm using the Anastasia number 14 brow brush. My brows are tricky. The front of my brows, the hair grows in different directions, so they always look uneven even though they're not. So it kind of takes me a little while to do my brows, but it's okay. I do my best and I think they look pretty good. They look better in person definitely than they do on camera. To fill in my brows, I'll be using the Anastasia Brow Definer in dark brown. I really like to use this to fill in the brow because I feel like if you use the pomade, sometimes it can look super harsh, and that definitely isn't the look that I'm going for. But honey, if you like them dark brows, you go ahead and you rock them dark brows. Alright, so to me this is the most important part. Using the spoolie, you really want to run this through your brows and just make them as light as possible so they look more natural that way. They look a little crazy right now, but I promise they'll look better once we're done with the spoolie. Using a MAC 212 brush and some of that Urban Decay concealer, I'm going to go ahead and carve out my brows. This also helps to correct any mistakes that you might have made. And here I'm blending out the concealer with an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. I'm not sure of the number, but I got it in one of her eyeshadow palettes. Moving on to eyes, first I'm going to prime my eyelids using MAC's Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is my absolute favorite eyeshadow primer, and I'm just using a My Makeup Brush Set brush to apply this. Before I go in with my transition color, I always like to set my crease with a bone colored shadow, and today I'll be using the MAC Pro Emphasize powder with a Morphe M441. To create this burgundy smoky eye, I used the Kylie Cosmetics The Burgundy palette, and let me tell you, this palette is absolutely stunning. Perfect for fall. The first color that I'm using is the color Beach, and I'm just going to run that in my crease as my transition shade. And I'm using that same Morphe M441 brush to apply this. Next, I'll be using the shade Brick, and I'll be applying that with a Morphe M433 brush, just right below and on top of that shade Beach that we applied just before. Taking the shade Burgundy, I'll be applying that mainly on my outer V and in my crease. And I'm using the same Morphe brush that I just used to apply the shade Brick. Taking my MAC 242 brush and some MAC Fix Plus, I'm going to dampen my brush and use the shade Dubai and pack that all over my lid. This is probably my favorite shadow out of the entire palette. It's a gorgeous shimmery burgundy. Alright, so using the shade Almond with my Morphe G13 brush, I'm going to pack this on to my outer V. Dipping back into that beautiful burgundy shade, I'm going to take my MAC 217 brush and I'm going to run this along my lower lash line. I'm going to highlight my brow bone using that same highlighter I used before. Next, I'll be using that same almond shade along with my MAC 237 brush, and I'm just going to lightly line my lash line. So now that we're done with all the shadows, I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. And the mascara that I'm using is Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir. This is currently my favorite mascara. I really like it. It definitely helps lengthen your lashes, and it coats your lashes very nicely and makes them very black. Highlighting my inner corner, and I'm using the Morphe M507 brush for this. For lashes, I'm using one of my favorite styles, and this is Iris Beauty in the style Cleopatra. These lashes are so gorgeous and so fluffy. I'm using the House of Lashes Clear Lash Glue to apply these. Now onto lips, I'll be using Kylie Cosmetics Kristen, and this is probably my favorite shade in her entire line. After the lipstick, the look is completed. I really hope you guys